want to share a story about what it means to see the other person, even if they're different from you. Sometimes I think that we look at people who are different, who are poor, who are maybe marginalized, and we see them as the other and fail to see their humanity. And it goes something like this. There once was a man a scholar who studied every single day at the house of study. And at the end of the day, he would walk down a specific alleyway and he found a house that was poor and in need of repair, and he would slide a few coins under the door and he would continue home. And this went on and on and on for years. And the poor person in the home, who was also unable to work because of an illness, was very grateful for the little bit of coins that he had because it enabled him to eat. Well, after so many years, the poor person had this idea that he wanted to see who his benefactor was. And it happened to be that he decided that day specifically to stand by the door and wait. And so he did. Well, that very day, the scholar was studying hard at the house of study and became so specifically drawn into this text that he missed his lunch and he missed his time home, and his wife became very concerned. So she went to the house of study to check in on him. And when she was there, she saw that he was simply engaged in a text. And so they walked off together to down the specific alley where, per normal, he put a few coins and slid them under the door. The minute he did that, the poor person opened the door and saw who it was and was so happy he chased him down the street to try and thank him. Well, as he was doing, the scholar and his wife ran into a kitchen, into an oven to hide. And fortunately, the oven's hot coals had simply just been swept out, and his wife and him were standing in there waiting to make sure that this other human being wasn't around so that they can continue on in anonymity. As they were standing there, their feet were beginning to burn, and the scholar said, "Aren't your feet burning, wife? Can you stand the heat?" And the wife said, "No, I'm perfectly fine. My feet are nice and cool and chill. You see, the difference between you and me, husband, is that when I come across somebody who's in need, I face them and see who they are, and I give them what they need. I interact with people who are different. You just like to do so anonymously." The point of the story then teaches us that, well, at times it's wonderful to help anonymously. In order to truly help the other person and also grow ourselves, we need to see who they are, interact with them as human beings, so that we don't label them as poor, we don't label them as other, we don't label them as different. We simply see that they and us are children of God.